As of today, I really think I have sold well over, 500 pieces of this hard drive here. It's a 500 gigabyte Western digital hard drive. This thing right here, there was a time where this thing was the phone. It was the standard of storage for PCs. Yes, there was a time where this thing was really, in demand. And I have been selling this thing for so long. Somebody might be thinking now, how much does a hard drive cost? It costs pretty much less than 15 euros. Yes, but this thing right here is going to see to it that you always have something to sell. If you are looking at, starting this business of selling used computers, desktop PCs, laptops, monitors, do not pass on this particular hardware here because, yes, in 2025, you might be thinking, people want SSDs, people want something faster, NVMe SSDs, SATA SSDs. Well, I'm telling you for free that if you have the opportunity of finding this thing right here, a 500 gigabyte Western digital drive, please go ahead and buy it because I have, like I said, sold well over 500 pieces of this thing. And with this thing, I have been able to know how it looks like when you sell, cheap items. Sometimes we are always thinking of, buying and selling the expensive items, PCs, laptops, 400 euro laptops, 500 euro laptops. Whenever we see little transactions like this, we say to ourselves, I do not think I want to sell this thing because the profit margin might just be too small. It's not worth my time. I want the big transactions. I'm going to tell you, if you do not see this as interesting, even if you have the big transactions, you are also not going to think it's going to be interesting because if you are not able to stay long enough in selling something like this, even the big transactions, when they come to you, you are still going to give up. It all goes to show how serious you are with this business. If you are saying to yourself, I do not care if I have to make 3 euros off this thing, and you stay with it, you try to find out where this thing comes from, and each time you see it, you want to buy it, you learn the in and out of this thing, you learn what kind of errors, how to test them, if it is working, you learn how to ship them, how to pack them, how to send them off that it's not broken when you are shipping them. I'm telling you for free, you are going to be successful in business. When you say to yourself, this thing is too little, the profit line is just, come on, a kid's game. I don't want to be selling things like this. I want to sell the expensive item. I'm telling you, there's going to come a time when the expensive item don't sell. You are still going to give up and say to yourself, this business doesn't work. I need a business that's going to give me more money. And the story just keeps going on and on and on. Guys, like I said, I have sold well over 500 pieces of this thing. This thing right here, the 500 gigabyte HDDs, they are very, very, easy to get because companies tend to throw them away. People kind of understand that they're a little bit slower. Because of that, they don't want to keep them on their PCs, except for those that have said, look, I want to use it for storage. First, you want to install your operating system here. It's going to make your PC slow because of the way, the technology is. Technology has since moved on. Now we're in the days of NVMe SSD, we're in the days of super fast hard drives. You see, people want to do away with it because they just want something faster. But then, just as people are doing away with it, there are still people that will say to themselves, I need a 500 gigabyte storage just to add on my PC because I want to be able to save some files that I do not need immediately. I do not always want to go to my SSD drive to try to search out what I'm looking for. I want to be able to, deposit some, some data here, some files, and just keep it there. And each time I want it, I'm able to go back and take it. Because of that, I can free up some, effective space on my hard drive. I need a 1 terabyte drive. I need a 500 gigabyte hard drive. There are people that will continuously, look for this thing. And it's exactly where you now become very relevant. To be that middleman that goes out to look for the people that are throwing away this thing because of one reason or the other. And then you are picking it from them, bringing it to your shop, wiping them clean, testing for functionality, making sure there are no bad sectors. And then you are taking it from point A, putting it on a responsible platform like, say, eBay, and try to sell it. Like I said, there's always going to be that one person that doesn't want this item. And you are right here. And this person that wants this item is going to ultimately, get it from you. And if you learn how to make profit of 3 euros, 5 euros, just selling stuff like this, you are going to be developing special skills that you can use not only in this category, but in every category on eBay. I'm telling you guys, if you are not able to be faithful over selling little things like this, you are not going to be able to handle the big transaction. It's a little trap. People just want to launch out and start doing the big stuff, the big boy stuff. Is a little trap. I get it. Sometimes we don't want to count €1 or €2 here and there. But I'm telling you from experience that if you are not able to stay long in counting €2, €3 profit on items like this, when the big transactions come, you are also going to run away, because there's going to come that time where every category has, the time where things just pretty much slow down. Right now in the desktop category, things are pretty much slow. There are no RAM sticks to buy. Even if you have them to buy, they are very expensive. SSDs are nowhere to be found. And the few you have out there, they are very expensive. And even right now, the secondary market is pretty much taking a hit. PCs are nowhere to be found. There's going to come that time where even the niche that you used to think is the bread and butter niche, things are still going to dry up and just, it takes time for things to pick up again. But when that time comes, when you do not have your bread and butter items to sell anymore, things like this might pretty much just be what is going to sell the day. Today alone, I've sold already one piece of this. Possibly another one is going to be sold today. And I just keep counting these €3. Anytime it says I count the €3 profit, and I keep listing the item again. The beautiful thing is I don't need to make a picture over and over and again. The pictures are already made. They are made for life. Anytime I just get new supplies of this, all I have to do is to go ahead, edit the quantity, and the item is back there again on my eBay shop, live, waiting for every potential buyer to come around and buy it. This is what I do, and the ability for you to put that on rinse and repeat is what is going to make the difference. Of course, people are so defocused. Nobody wants to, sit down and begin to make a photo of things like this, a little item like this, you might call it. Nobody wants to sit down there and do the little stuff. Everybody is thinking of, the big stuff, the big transactions, the money, €10,000, €20,000 that you can just make in a single transactions. If that is your concept of making money online, you have to be ready to wait for a very, very long time. But for those of us that have said, we're not going to wait until the big transaction comes, we're going to be seen doing something. We're going to be seen doing the, the work, putting in the effort, in listing small items like this, because from these little items, you never can tell who's going to buy this and take a look at your paper and say, look, if this guy has sent me a very decent hard drive like this, I think I want to go ahead and buy a monitor from his shop. I think my laptop is broken. It's time for me to, replace it. And I remember that young man that sent me, a HDD. The HDD was in very good condition. I'm going to go to a shop and pick up another item. And they're going to go there, boom, drop €500, pick up a very responsible laptop. This is how the story goes most times. Don't be discouraged when all you have to find out there are little items, screwdrivers, scissors like this, sellotapes like this. If the little items you go out, if you are only finding little items, don't be discouraged. Learn all you have to learn from the process. Learn the skills that you need. Learn the skill of photography, the skill of taking something, cleaning it up, testing things to be sure that they are in good working condition. Learn how to list on a particular platform. Doesn't matter if it's on eBay, on Facebook, whatnot. Put in the work and become that person that's able to handle bigger transactions. Obviously, it helps you. If it does, go ahead, click on the like button. And before then, I really do think that YouTube wants you to watch this video here. Click on it. See you next time. Bye-bye.